If you had to outline the most important aspects of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, you would certainly mention major witnesses, Heard and Depp testifying against one another, and cross-examination. This is precisely what this case has been doing, which is why it has been so intense. Johnny Depp has spent the majority of this week on the witness stand arguing why he was not an abuser and why Heard was the abuser during their marriage. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today, we'll be looking at how the judge threatened to end the trial early and sentence Amber Heard to 7 months in prison. Yeah, you heard it right. So, let's start our video. When the allegations were made, the allegations were rapidly circling around the globe, telling people that Depp was a drunken, cocaine-fueled menace who beat women. It's over. So, what did it do to him? What effect did it have regardless of the outcome of this trial the moment the allegations were made against him? If you were to describe some of the key aspects of Johnny's and Amber's case, you would likely mention the key witnesses Heard and Depp testifying against each other, and cross-examination. And that's exactly what this case has been doing and why it's been getting so intense for the majority of the time. Heard's attorneys had the opportunity to cross-examine him, and it's safe to say that they went after him aggressively. As you may have guessed from our introduction, Johnny took a beating from Heard's legal team, who went to great lengths to make it clear to the jury that Depp was a drug-fueled man and nothing more. And while Johnny did take it in part, he also bit back. No, I wasn't drinking that heavily. It depends on how you define heavily. Eventually, the lawyer put out a testimony from Depp's lost 2020 UK libel action against the Sun tabloid, in which the actor claimed, "I was definitely drinking alcohol at the end of my relationship." Depp softly admitted that the testimony from the other side of the Atlantic seemed to contradict his position in this case, and that he's not a heavy drinker and has almost never had an alcohol problem. And if there's one thing Depp doesn't want in this case, it's contradictions staring him down. Depp's apparent widespread drug use was the primary focus of the latter portion of his cross-examination, as more photographs and text messages were displayed in court, again to emphasize. Besides, Depp said that he took the pills to get normal. The magnitude of Depp's addiction to oxycodone and other opioids was made evident by a text message from one of his nurses who had commented on the 2015 Black Mass filming. Destruction of property in rooms full of hookers, animals, and blood was also brought up in a methodical process that aimed to freight Depp's assertions of his personality and conduct in his relationship with Heard. Previously, a May 2013 trip out to near Palm Springs with Heard and others was also entered into the record, in which he punched up a bathroom after an argument with openly gay individuals. On a recent trip, I of course pounded and displayed ugly colors to Amber. Depp admitted to Avengers actor Paul Bettany as the two planned for a future trip together. Ugly and sad. Oh, how I love it. Depp added, "Not the best thing for a jury to hear when you're attempting to demonstrate that you were the victim in an abusive relationship, wouldn't you say?" Besides, Depp admitted in court that he suspected in 2014 that James Franco was having an affair with Heard. The actor bristled over lawyer Robin Bourne's description of him being in a blackout for portions of a private jet flight from Boston to LA, where Depp and Heard fought over Franco. Despite testimony from his UK libel case that said otherwise, Depp refused to admit that he was very drunk on that flight and cannot black out from the consumption of oxycodone. The defense team presented an insurance form in which Johnny Depp stated that he was not on drugs, despite the fact that various incidents during the time indicated that he was very much on drugs, and if he would lie about that, what else would he lie about? At least that was their statement on the subject. Moreover, Johnny Depp's texts were also very important in terms of what was said and not said at the trial, because apparently, Depp went to great lengths to describe the scene. Depp had to sit on the witness stand, as many of these texts were read aloud and showed the very profane and violent language in which he described wanting to do various things to her at various points in their marriage. It's also true that Johnny has talked about these texts in the past and even noted that he was embarrassed by what he said in the past, even apologizing for what he wrote at one point. Whether that actually matters to the jury as a whole is uncertain. In addition, Heard's team has not given conclusive evidence that Depp sexually assaulted her, nor has it contradicted all the other witnesses. As in all things, it's a process. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section down below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned.